Shout out to Jack Threads for sponsoring this update.
Order online, try clothes for free, don't pay until you decide what to keep. Pretty awesome way to winterize your wardrobe without the hassle.
Try it out and you can get 20% off anything you decide to keep. Just go to jackthreads.com and use promo code KNOW, K-N-O-W. Welcome to the Know. I'm Ashley Jenkins.
I'm John Reisinger.
Everyone's gearing up for the impending release of Star Wars Rogue One, but we all know that's just the appetizer to hold us over until the main course. Episode 8.
So far, we actually have precious few details about what to expect from the next movie, but now, a couple of alleged leaks and rumors have surfaced this week, including when we can expect the first trailer, an old favorite character returning to the screen, and maybe even the tiniest snippet of Luke Skywalker's dialogue.
You're go crazy over just about anything. It's
He talks.
He says words. Oh my god.
Yeah.
As always, we're gonna leave a spoiler warning here for those of you who want to remain completely unsullied about potential Star Wars Episode 8 details. Don't know why you're watching this video if you did, but let's just be extra clear about it. There's nothing too spoilery about any of these supposed leaks, but we all know that Star Wars is serious business.
Let's all get serious. So, you've been warned, and everything that happens from here on out is your own goddamn fault.
We have to put this in so many videos. So the first of these rumors comes from YouTuber Mike Zero. Zero specializes in Star Wars fan theories and occasional leaks. His content is hit or miss in terms of accuracy, but he has had some legitimate things come across his desk from time to time, so it's worth paying attention to.
Yeah, so Zero, who advises his viewers to take this information with a grain of salt, so we will do likewise, claims that 4 separate sources have reached out to him with the same piece of information involving the content and timing of Star Wars Episode 8's first teaser trailer. Zero says he trusts 2 of these sources, and the other 2 are questionable. It's interesting, but they did all give him the same details.
Like these guys? Yeah, I believe these guys. Those guys, they're probably assholes. I don't even know. The news seems to be making its way to Zero from people connected to the Lucasfilm production team currently working on the very first teaser for Episode 8. One of his sources reported that audio engineers are particularly focused on a single line of dialogue from Jedi Master Luke Skywalker that plays a critical role in Episode 8's teaser. You ready for it? Ready?
Give it to me.
Okay. You contain the spark that will rekindle the fire.
Genius! Cut, print, check the tape, moving along. From the sound of it, this could mean that Episode 8's teaser is built around this one line from Luke, similar to how the first teaser trailer for Episode 7 centered on a single line by Supreme Leader Snoke. You know, the line that barely played much of a role in the movie, but it sounded badass and then led to that awesome shot of the Falcon in the trailer, so we still loved it.
Look, as long as it's not, I'm a rebel. I rebel. If this actual line of dialogue, we'll see. Maybe that plays a lot better in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have that long to wait until we find out. But if this actual line of dialogue is real, seems pretty obvious that it's something Luke is telling Rey during their training. Now, we know from other comments made about Episode 8 that it picks up immediately where Star Wars Episode 7's awkward Jedi staring contest left us off. So it might even be something we hear in the very first scene. Then it's not terribly spoilery anyway, is it? Naturally, a big part of the story will be Rey's training and what role she can play in the awakening of the Force, or re-awakening of the Force, and perhaps the rebuilding of the Jedi Order.
Yeah, but of course, that's all speculation. As for when we can expect this trailer, Zero sources had something to say about that as well, and indicating that the teaser wouldn't be arriving until sometime early 2017.
Which is different than a lot of fan speculation up to this point.
Okay, fans were no doubt hoping for a trailer sooner, but there was no way they were going to release it too close to Rogue One. They don't want to take away any attention from that film, especially since Disney has apparently pinned so many hopes on its success.
Yeah, but still, some of us were hoping the trailer might at the very least launch alongside the new prequel, maybe exclusively in the theater with it. That would put even more butts in seats, right? Just so we could all get caught up in an orgy of happy, good Star Wars feelings at the same time.
Yeah, but no orgies for us, says Disney. I can have an orgy if I want to, Disney.
Just not a Star Wars orgy.
I can have a Star Wars orgy if I want.
All right,
that leaves the actual...
You're gonna get a takedown on that
Whatever. So the actual timing of the trailer is up in the air. Disney will probably want to give Rogue One a little space to breathe, so maybe February or March might be a more likely target. There's also Star Wars Celebration in Orlando in April, but that seems like it might be a bit too long of a wait for a movie set to release in December.
Well, we'll see. So in addition...
I would imagine a teaser before that, and then maybe like a trailer at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, because then you go like trailer 1, trailer 2 a little bit closer, and so on.
Maybe.
In addition to the leaked dialogue from Episode 8 and some possible news about when we can expect the trailer, there's also been some scuttlebutt on the tubes about some surprising character maybe possibly making his way back to the main saga. And it's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Please, bring Ewan back. We all want Ewan.
In spite of being dead.
Yes, I don't care. Just want more Ewan. This rumor comes from a slightly more reputable source than the first one. Entertainment Weekly writer Anthony Bresnikan, who recently shared some rumors he's been hearing from sources in Hollywood about Ewan McGregor stepping back into his role from the prequels.
Yeah, speaking on the Star Wars podcast Rebel Force Radio, Bresnikan killed off hopes of any Star Wars fans who wanted standalone films focused on Obi-Wan Kenobi, which we'd been hearing rumblings about for a little while. Those rumors were in circulation heavy earlier this year, but Bresnikan claims that any planning for those films has been put on hold.
But there's apparently good reason for Disney iceboxing those movies, because Ewan McGregor is apparently set to return in episode 8. According to Bresnikan, I have heard rumors that the one reason they haven't moved sooner on Obi-Wan is that they're not done with Obi-Wan quite yet in the saga films. So I wouldn't be surprised to see an Obi-Wan thing happen beyond episode 9.
Interesting. So according to this, we could be seeing Force Ghost Obi-Wan play a meaningful role in both episodes 8 and 9. Now this matches some rumors from earlier this year, kind of when Collider writer Christian Harloff said he'd been hearing murmurs that McGregor was in talks to appear in episode 8 as such.
Cool. Well, this will no doubt be good news for the fans who are firmly in the Team Kenobi camp when it comes to Rey's familial line. So far, there's been a fairly contentious discussion following The Force Awakens about whether or not Rey belongs in the Skywalker clan as Luke's daughter, with others feeling like there is more evidence to support her as a Kenobi. And then there's that wacky corner of the internet who probably thinks she's Darth Jar Jar's virgin birth baby who traveled forward in time to become Supreme Leader Snoke.
I would watch it.
It's not crazy enough that it couldn't actually happen. It's Star Wars after all.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
As long as you've got midichlorians.
Please, no.
Now, we already know that McGregor did play the tiniest role in episode 7, already contributing a brief piece of audio for the series of Force flashbacks when Rey first comes into contact with Luke's old lightsaber. So some of the groundwork is already there for him to return in the next 2 films.
So if this new rumor is to be believed, then Disney may be moving forward with the previously rumored Obi-Wan trilogy once the saga trilogy is complete. Those rumors were based on a report from the Schmoes Know podcast earlier this year, claiming that Disney had actively been courting McGregor for an unknown multi-picture deal. That trilogy would have focused on Kenobi during his time between the prequel and the original trilogy, watching over Luke on Tatooine. However, it should be noted that it's just as possible now that we have this new information that the multi-picture deal was just for episodes 8 and 9. Could be.
Yeah, this also jives with some other comments Disney and Lucasfilm have made recently about trying to evaluate whether or not they should focus on saga films or standalone and side stories once the current trilogy is complete. It makes sense that they'd want to put any future standalone stories on the back burner until they can figure out how Rogue One is going to perform at the box office, because that's the really big question right now.
Yeah, but like any rumors, we'll just have to wait and see what unfolds, and hopefully we won't be waiting too long on that episode 8 teaser, please.
Come on, just put it with Rogue One. Just do it. What do you guys think of these Star Wars Episode 8 rumors? Let us know in the comments.
For all the latest Star Wars news, remember to like this video and subscribe to The Know.
Thanks to Jack Threads for sponsoring this update.
If you're looking to winterize your wardrobe, minus the hassle of going shopping, try Jack Threads. You can order clothes you think you might like, try them on at home when it's convenient for you, and only pay for what you keep.
They even provide the packing tape and the label you need for returns, so you don't have to worry about any of that.
They got tons of stuff too. Hats, jackets, shoes, sweaters, accessories.
Got lots of gifts.
Yeah.
I actually ordered some of the beanies for myself. I like guys' beanies. And I also picked up some Christmas gifts for my dad and brother.
Nice.
Because frankly, if I don't do it now, I'll be useless and I'll forget until Christmas Eve. So I just took care of that.
There you go. Try it out risk-free and get 20% off anything you decide to keep. Just visit jackthreads.com and use promo code KNOW.